You still fraud for not covering the Digivices. Oh, my heart. I've done so many videos and I've been extremely detailed, and I'm being called a fraud. Well, excuse me, Mr. Flame Emperor, if that is even your real name. Easy for you to talk, just typing there behind your keyboard. And you know what? I'll just do it for you. I'll just make that video, because it actually absolutely makes sense that we discuss the Digivice, which is pretty much a tool we've always seen in Digimon and probably always will see. Hello my good friends, welcome to the channel Digimon Explained. My name is Jesse, and in this video we are going to discuss the different Digivices in the franchise. We'll take a look at those from the anime, the manga, the games, all of them. Well, I hope all of them. I'm pretty sure I might forget some, but I know I can count on all of you to write down what I might have missed down below in the comment section. Know that we are mostly going to be focusing on the origins of the Digivice and its utilities. We're not going to be talking about the holders, even if some of them will be mentioned. It's just that I would love to give you a good Digivice overview so that you know how one differs from another, because at the end you will understand that the Digivice has different ways of influencing a Digimon's evolution. Let's get into it. In the Digimon Adventure V-Tamer 01 manga, the Digivice 01 was given to Tai Kamiya from Lord Waymon as a parting gift. The Digivice has plenty of utilities, like a built-in analyzer, but it can also be used to transmit data to a Digimon, like for example medicinal herbs and food. With the Digivice 01 there is also the possibility to give non-verbal commands to a partner Digimon, which means that the holder wouldn't necessarily have to use his or her voice to pass on instructions. Very interesting in moments where stealth is needed. When two of the 01 Digivices are hit, as it is called, or in other words brought together, the action can cause a DNA Digivolution to fuse two Digimon and make them become a single entity. And to cancel the DNA Digivolution, the Digivices must simply be crossed or removed from one another. What is so interesting with this technique is that it can surprisingly be used to cheat DNA Digivolution. Let me say it in another way. You can take advantage of this Digivice to make use of what is called infinite DNA Digivolution. This means that when the fused Digimon gets separated again into its fusees and then merged once more, they can thereby reacquire perfect health, a technique which would give a Digimon a lot of longevity. In Digimon Adventure you have the normal Digivice, which is surprisingly also called the Taichi Digivice, which I don't immediately understand why, but anyway. This version is created by the Agents, a group of digital humanoids that created the tags, the crests, the Digi-Eggs that would later hatch into the Digidestined's Digimon, and they created the Taichi Digivice. This Digivice was created primarily to allow the Digidestined to digivolve their partner Digimon into a stronger version of itself. And the way it works is actually quite simple. The Digivice work as a tool for a Digidestined to channel his or her emotional energy to their Digimon partner, and it serves as fuel to make the Digimon digivolve. That same energy can be monitored by a gauge on the Digivice, but pay attention, the Digivice can on its own only permit Digivolution to the champion level. To go beyond, other sources will have to be used in addition to the Digivice, like for example the crests. Fortunately, and maybe also unfortunately, the designated owner of the Digivice is the only one that can use the tool to make his or her partner digivolve. Should you hand it over to someone else, then that person wouldn't be able to do much, aside maybe of using its other functions, like the built-in clock or the function to track the signal emitted by other Digivices. Aside of that, note that the Digivice is really a tool meant to connect a particular human to a particular Digimon. There are some little contradictions though. In the manga, Meiko Mohizuki's Digivice was used to trigger Omnimon's Digivolution to Merciful mode, despite her not being partnered with any of the component Digimon. But that's manga and anime in general for all of you. Very hard to find a manga or an anime that has no contradictions. As a physical manifestation of the bond between a Digidestined and a partner Digimon, the Digivice can also be used to access that bond and see its data. It also displays the countdown timer to the termination of the partner's bond, and once the deadline is reached, the Digivice will turn to stone and the Digimon partner will vanish. The D3 Digivices are, let us say, upgraded versions of the Taichi Digivice. But what is so interesting about the D3 Digivice is that there are many different ways to trigger the upgrade. as the Longmon and the Harmonious Ones created the D3 Digivice to counter the power of the Digimon Emperor's Dark D3, which he obtained by dipping his Digivice into the Dark Ocean, a place we have discussed in its own video. Link towards it is in the description box. The D3 Digivice was dubbed as such by Easy for its 3 settings, namely Digital, Detect, and Discover. See, the D3 Digivice possesses all the basic functions of the original Taichi Digivice, which allows for a Digimon to digivolve to the champion level and to DNA digivolve. But what is unique to it is that the D3 Digivice can also be used in conjunction with the Digi-Eggs, otherwise known as Digimental, to allow armor digivolution, an ancient type of digivolution. And a found Digi-Egg will be safely stored within the Digivice in its D-terminal and can always be used again for armor digivolution. Another unique function of the D3 Digivice is the possibility to open Digiportals. These portals are basically computer programs that serve as gateways from the human world to the digital world. In Digimon Last Evolution Kizuna there is the smartphone Digivice, which was created by Izzy, again. With it, the tamer is able to access most functions of a Digivice. It allows Digivolution, it can enable the tracking of the position of the Digivice of other Digidestined, and it can display a countdown timer to the termination of the partner's bond. As a smartphone, it is also capable of using email, phone calling, apps usage, and comes with a dual camera for selfies and more. It can also play games as well as suck humans and Digimon into said games. In Digimon Tamers, the Digivice that was used is called D-Power. The device was given to the main characters when a blue card was slashed either through a card reader or when it was slashed through a computer Digimon gaming attachment. And for your information, the blue card is special as it contains an algorithm which exists to create digital connections. The swipe of a blue card into a card scanner or a similar card reading device can transform the device into a D-Power, lining a human together with a Digimon as a tamer and partners. When this happens, a Digimon in the digital world will be brought across the dimensions and bio-emerge into the real world. Now, the D-Power Digivice is very unique. It can be used to execute what is known as Digimodify, which basically means that the tamer's Digimon was modified in terms of attacks, effects, and more. The D-Power Digivice can also be used to achieve the ultimate level through a process called Matrix Digivolution. The D-Power can also be used to Biomerge Digivolve, which allows the tamer to fuse with the partner Digimon to digivolve to the Mega level. Aside of Matrix Digivolution and Biomerge Digivolution, the D-Power Digivice can also analyze nearly every Digimon that the tamer's Digimon sees. It has a compass/radar function which can detect when an aggressive Digimon is nearby, and it can heal the tamer's Digimon. In Digimon Frontier, the Digivice that is used is called the D-Tector. When the main characters were brought to the digital world, their cell phones were changed into the D-Tectors through Ophanimon's powers. The D-Tector allows the Digidestined to use Spirit Evolution, which is using a spirit to digivolve, which resulted in a human hybrid, a humanoid Digimon, or a beast hybrid. The D-Tector can also enable Unified Spirit Evolution, which is where 10 of the 20 spirits are used to evolve to a transcendent form. To finish, the D-Tector can also be used to scan, to purify, and to communicate with each other. It can also be used to communicate with Ophanimon, the creator of the Digivice, or with the spirits themselves. In Digimon Chronicle, the Digivice that is used there is called the Digimon Pendulum X. What is so special about it is that it has an X-ANTIBODY indicator on it. X-ANTIBODY, for those who do not know what it is, may I kindly refer to the video where we discussed it thoroughly, link of it is in the description box, but briefly summarized, the X-ANTIBODY is an antibody that, when present in the Digimon's Digicore, provides them with resistance against the effects of Program X, a program launched by Yggdrasil to eliminate over 90% of the Digimon population due to the digital world being overcrowded, which could lead to its collapse. If the X-ANTIBODY is present in high enough concentrations, it is also able to cause a Digimon to undergo X-evolution into an X-ANTIBODY enhanced form with new or improved traits. And with the Digimon Pendulum X, one can find if a Digimon has X-ANTIBODY in its Digicore. In Digimon D-Cyber, which is a Chinese Digimon manhwa, manhwa meaning a Chinese language comic produced in China, the Digivice that is used there is called D-Cyber. It is basically an alternate Pendulum X, as it does exactly the same. It has an X-ANTIBODY indicator. Oh, and by shaking the D-Cyber in the proper way, a tamer could get their Digimon to unleash a powerful attack. Then we have the data link Digivice, also called the Digivice IC. A Digivice used in Digimon Data Squad, Digimon Next and Digimon World DS, though they don't always have the same functions. It was revealed that all of the data link Digivices were created by Spencer Damon, a member of an expedition group that went to the digital world. He created the data link Digivice. In Digimon World DS and Digimon World Dawn Dusk, you can find the same Digivices in it, except that they don't have a DNA system, but instead have a Digifarm function. It is a place where the protagonist's extra Digimon can be stored and still progress while not traveling with them. Typical functions include passive experience point gain, methods to increase happiness, and ways to train stats. The upgraded version of the Data Link Digivice is the Digivice Burst, which pretty much still has the same function as the Data Link Digivice, but it also allows Digimon to digivolve via DNA Charge Overdrive or Digisoul Charge Overdrive in Japan to the Mega level. It also has the same functions as the Data Link Digivice, plus the ability to use Charge DNA Burst Mode or Digisoul Burst Mode in the Japanese version. With that, a Digimon gets access to its Burst Mode. In Digimon Data Squad, you also have a Dark Digivice which was used by Professor Akihiro Kurata, a xenophobic researcher possessed by his fear and bigotry against Digimon. He wanted to eliminate all Digimon and install himself as ruler of both worlds, and in order to do that, it used the Dark Digivice to enable Gizumon to pseudo-digivolve to either Gizumon AT or Gizumon XT through the use of artificial DNA, which Akihiro can create. Still, in Digimon Data Squad, there is a BioLink Digivice, a Digivice used to turn humans into Digimon. It allows humans to evolve into a hybrid armor level Digimon, but also Mega level. The human Nanami called out Biohybrid DNA full charge to give birth to BioLotosmon. In Digimon Next, there are two Digivices called Digimon Twin. They are also known as anti-god devices. These are safety measures created by Yggdrasil, and they are to be used to call upon the arbitrators, VICTORYGREYMON and Garurumon, to take down Yggdrasil should it ever become corrupted. Only with the Digimon Twin Digivices can these Digimon be called. I explained their entire story in the Explaining VICTORYGREYMON video, link towards it is in the description box. In Digimon Fusion, the Digivice there is called Fusion Loader, and this Digivice has different creators. Omnimon made one, Bagramon made one, and even Wizardmon made one. Among the things that it can do is store a Digimon's data to allow it to recover its health. It can store multiple Digimon in it. The problem is that the more Digimon are stored inside, the slower the healing process happens. It can be used to open portals between different areas, as well as travel between the human world and the Digi-Quartz, a mysterious space between the human world and the digital worlds. That place was created by Quartzmon, an unknown species also called the Great Evil Globe, a Digimon I would love to discuss soon. The Fusion Loader can also be used to perform Digifuse between their Digimon and also to digivolve the user's partner, so it's basically the same as most Digivices. With the Fusion Loader, a 3D map of the digital world can be generated, ambient temperature can be monitored, other Fusion Loaders can be tracked, and there is the possibility to store Digi-Cards in it, which are cards holding the data of legendary Digimon, and you can also use the Fusion Loader to store the code Crown in it, a legendary artifact which takes the form of an SD card. And bringing all these SD cards together will allow the Blessed One to reformat the entirety of the digital world. Now, we know that there is a Fusion Loader, but there is also a Darkness Loader. It was initially dormant within an orb of dark energy. Its primary ability is to perform dark Digifuses between Digimon, as well as using Disengage Fuse to undo the Digifuse. And to briefly tell you what Digifuse means. It is similar to DNA digivolution in that it involves multiple Digimon combining into stronger forms, but also involves attributes of modes changing, allowing the units to rearrange their data and become body parts or weapons for the new form. The Gestalt entity is usually controlled by the unit with the most powerful soul, but especially for Dark Digifuses, the lead unit can change if one member's soul overpowers the other. Another extra function of the Dark Fusion Loader is that it is also able to display tactical maps and battle plans. In the game Digimon Cyber Sleuth, there is the Cyber Sleuth Digivice, a multi-purpose communication device primarily used through an Eden spot to access Cyberspace Eden, a pseudo-digital world which was created by Kamishiro Enterprises. With it, you can video call, send text messages, store data, and manage the user's Digimon. As many Digivices have already been updated, the same happened with the Cyber Sleuth Digivice. It ended up being modded by hackers, except that the use of the modded Digivice caused, according to some, the Eden syndrome on the users. A syndrome caused by the brain nerves being overloaded with data due to illegally modded Digivices. Then there is the app drive, for the Digimon Universe app monsters. The app drive is delivered to its chosen human through a machine, may it be a UFO catcher game, a box that came by a delivery drone from a vending machine, etc. And the receiver will typically be asked a yes or no question. If answered correctly, the person will win an app drive. The app drive can app realize, which allows an appmon to materialize by inserting its appmon chip inside it. Two appmon can also perform app link and app fusion. I was going to talk about that and even made a community post about it, but I have yet to start talking about it. I'm really sorry, my good friends. I noticed that the way an app drive can be used varies depending on the app drive and the user. It can allow a user to perform a function related to their body's attack. It allows some to search terms to be used in order to discover information when needed. It can be adapted to enable one to smash buttons in a fashion similar to a video game controller. It can generate a holographic DJ set. It can create 3 holographic keyboards and more. Appmon as a species are also very connected to the app drive. If the app drive is destroyed, the appmon will be weakened up to a point they die. The app drive has an upgraded version called the App Drive Duo. It does have a few similarities with the original app drive in the how you can get one. But unlike the original app drive, this one has some differences. When an appmon is app realized from it, its natural power would have increased by 50%, as it adds part of the app driver's power to the appmon. The App Drive Duo can also initiate an overdrive function, in which the appmon suddenly gains a burst of energy, allowing them to perform a much stronger version of its attacks. However, this maneuver will drain part of the app driver's energy. Also, an App Drive Duo can keep an appmon in their ultimate form without a time limit. In Digimon New Century there is a Digivice called D0, the Digivice I find looking the prettiest. It also resembles a smartphone. They can be bought in stores and can store Digimon inside them. The D0 will also heal Digimon of their wounds. Partner Digimon cannot digivolve without the aid of the D0. In Digimon Ghost game there is a Digivice called the Digivice V. It allows its user to see the unmaterialized Digimon and help their Digimon partner to go through the states of materialization. With the buttons, it is able to generate a digital field where only Digimon and the Digivice users can occupy, and it can allow the Digimon partner to digivolve. The upgraded version is called Digivice VV, which has all the functions of its predecessor, but also allows the user to warp digivolve to their partner Digimon directly from the rookie level to the ultimate or mega level. In the Digimon Seekers universe there isn't one but multiple different Digivices, so they decided to use the word Digimon Dock to refer to various types of Digivices used by hackers in which they store their Digimon. Most of those Digivices are modifications of commercially available electronic terminals, and many of them are shoddy. But when they are good, they are being sold on the dark web, and the higher the quality, the higher the price. But these Digivices can be outright dangerous for the stored data in it. When the memory in it has issues, it can cause the data to be deleted, hence the death of the Digimon. Still, In Digimon Seekers, there is a Digivice called Digimon Linker. It was created by Aberdeen Electronics and is currently a prototype. It has a medical device class sensor that records pulse, blood pressure, respiration, body temperature, and other such bodily functions. It comes with a 24-hour medical support system via Aberdeen Electronics life support systems. It can also hololyze Digimon, which is usually only able to be done in Aberdeen Electronics Denrin Digital Lab. It is completely waterproof and antibacterial and can link the user's heart and their partner Digimon's hearts together, which allows them to get closer than other tamers. This allows them to feel each other's heartbeats. It records the tamer's bioinformation 24 hours a day, which Aberdeen Electronics are able to monitor. Doing all of this allows the tamer to mind link. Mind link allows the tamer to be placed under specific Digimon as a Digivolution source to give those Digimon extra effects. In other words, Mind Link is a technology that converts the human mind into digital data and transfers that human consciousness into a Digimon's Digicore. As the amount of data needed to do this is high, a Digimon Linker is required, and it samples their biometric data, brainwaves, and level of consciousness for 24 hours a day to allow them to mind link. Now that we have explained all Digivices, I'm trying to imagine what would happen if you had all of these Digivices in the same timeline. That would actually be quite crazy to imagine because each Digivice is unique and a Digimon will react differently to it. There is a Digivice that allows a tamer to mind link, the other enables force fusion, the other enables burst evolution. It's crazy and yet very interesting because it opens up the possibility of having so many different Digimon variations just because of the Digivice alone. So I'm very curious to read your opinions down in the comment section, and I really hope I did the video justice. It was based on the request of Mr. Flame Emperor and many others who also wished that I would cover it. So feel free to open up in the comment section. Be creative, just let loose in the comment section. And please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And in case you are new, know that all videos are placed in particular Digimon playlists, which are always updated. That way you can catch up on newer and older videos.